This presentation is for you if you're currently marketing money-making opportunities to consumers online. I'm Chip Cooper, digital marketing compliance attorney, and I work with money-making opportunity marketers, helping them develop very strategic earnings claim strategies that directly engage the new FTC framework that they're very vigorously enforcing online, targeting earnings claims. Now, you see from the slide here that this is the second of 5 presentations under the title, How to Win with Earnings Claims. We've already covered number 1. We're now dealing with presentation number 2. But before we get to it, there are 2 big takeaways from the first presentation. Number 1, this is huge. Earnings claim disclaimers are no longer effective for earnings claim compliance, assuming that they contradict or undercut the basic message of the earnings claim. Think about that. That was a major strategy, has been a major strategy for compliance for a long time. It's no longer effective. Big takeaway number 2 from the first presentation, there are really 5 steps, in my opinion, for you to shift your perspective to the new FTC framework for earnings claim compliance in order to deal with it, in order to engage with it. So here we see the 5 presentations. We've already covered express earnings claim previously. Now into presentation number 2, implied earnings claims. Very important. So we begin with a classic example of an implied ad claim, not an earnings claim. And you see the serial box there. The implied claim is not the message on the banner about lowering cholesterol. It is the image of a heart-shaped bowl filled with Cheerios. And the implied claim, of course, is that Cheerios is heart healthy. Classic example. Now let's apply that to earnings claims. And you've seen images such as this frequently online, the pile of cash, and then associated with the words online profit. Classic example of an online earnings claim implied. Now we go to this one. You've seen this a lot. The confident young man standing beside a very expensive automobile. I believe this one is a Mercedes. And then Tim Ferriss's famous book talking about the lifestyle of the online 4-hour work week. And you see the image there of the 2 palm trees and a guy in the hammock. Obviously a classic example of talking about conveying the implied message of it's really simple and easy. You don't have to work 4 hours a week and you're going to be wealthy in the process. Another classic example of an online implied earnings claim. Now we get to one that's really a blockbuster. Think about this one. There is an express claim that also generates a related implied claim. So the express claim would be make $10,000 your first month. I would not recommend this express ad claim, but here it is, make $10,000 your first month. And the implied claim is that the result is typical. So think about this. If you make this kind of earnings claim, the FTC says that the takeaway or net impression, more about that later, of consumers is that it is representative or typical of what consumers can reasonably expect as a result. Do you think you might have trouble substantiating that implied claim? More on that later. So now we're at the conclusion of this presentation number 2. You can see we've checked that off. It's implied earnings claims. We have 3 more to go for earnings claim compliance. More on that later. That's all for now.